So there's a song called Rollin that recently became viral in early 2021, and with that, a sudden revival in the artist's career, Brave Girls. So Rollin came out back in 2017, and if you've been keeping up with K-pop, you know it's one of the hottest songs this year. And I'm sure that you've seen the music video before. 4 years after its release and reviving Brave Girls' career, it's one of the best feel-good stories in K-pop thus far. In fact, after Rollin exploded, Brave Girls became one of the biggest groups in K-pop. They went from here all the way to S tier in no time. So you might be asking yourself, how did Brave Girls experience this? Very few K-pop groups experience like a sudden revival. And you know, that is a very good question. To explain this, we gotta go back in time. Brave Girls actually debuted a decade ago with their first song, Do You Know, back in 2011. They would be a 5-member group, with the members being Eunyoung, Sohwa, Yejin, Yoojin, and Haeran. This was during K-pop's golden age in the early 2010s, when groups such as Girls' Generation, 21, Big Bang, Tiara, 4 Minute, and Sistar were dominating the charts. They were founded by Brave Brothers, also known as Kang Dong-chol, who is actually just one person, so it's a bit weird to call them by Brave Brothers as you're expecting 2 or more people, but hey, let's just roll with it. Brave Girls' concept would be a sexy girl group during the 2010s, an era where sultry groups were trendy. Brave Brothers is known to have written songs for many of these female groups, including AOA, Sistar, Brown Eyed Girls, 4 Minute, and more. He planned to give similar songs to Brave Girls, where he hoped his girls would parallel the success of the other female groups that he's worked with. Throughout Brave Girls' 10-year career, the girls would work hard to try to find success in the ever-competitive K-pop world. And while Brave Girls had bangers such as High Heels, Deep End, and a now viral Rolling, and did have some success, none of their songs actually became major hits. I actually had the honor of covering Brave Girls when I lived in Seoul during the 2010s, where I saw them firsthand working hard, and they expanded the beauty products and fashion. I went to some of their fashion shows, concerts, and I saw them on a few music shows as well. I thought the group had potential, and had the mold of another Sistar or AOA, and I did think that the girls would be among those groups. Brave Brothers thought the same. He set them up as best as he could, giving Brave Girls some of his best songs, but they never caught on, and by the mid-2010s would lose all momentum. By 2014, they would go on a 2-year hiatus. A big reason for this break is that 3 members left. Eunyoung, Sohwa, and Yejin would leave the group, with only Yoojin and Haeran being left, making the group essentially a 2-person group. 2 years later, in 2016, 5 new members would join the group, making the group 7 members, the largest it's ever been. Then a year later, in 2017, we would see the last of the original members, Yoojin and Haeran, leave the group. The remaining members, Hayoon, Minyoung, Yoonjung, Eunji, and Yuna, would be left, releasing a little-known song at a time called Rolling. As for the founding members, they would never see the sudden resurgence that the group would experience in 2021. Between 2017 and 2020, the group went on another hiatus, this time being a 3.5-year gap. Since their K-pop career was put on hold, they had to look for other opportunities outside of Brave Girls. Hayoon would take a break after Rollin in 2018 for health reasons. Her hiatus would be permanent, as she would never return to the group. Yoojung and Eunji both competed on the show The Unit, but didn't make it into the final group. Yuna admitted that she couldn't do Brave Girls like this any longer with the way things were going, and was looking to pursue a barista career. As she would add, "I'm considering a second career path at this point. I worked a lot of part-time jobs before. I want to become a professional barista. I'm planning on sticking it out until May." If Yuna were to become a professional barista, she told her fans, "Let's become friends after I leave the agency." As for Yoojung, she started doing YouTube and was looking to be a show host. Like her other group members, she was a realist about her situation. "Our team is not young. I'm the second oldest and I'm 31. We can't do this much longer. It'd be better to end this quickly." Eunji was also looking to her future career, as she was about to start a new clothing company with her friend. In the further show that the group was ready to move on, Yoojung and Yuna left the dorms. Yoojung's mom further showed just how bad the girl's situation was at the time. She called onto the popular show, Yoo Hee-yeol's Sketchbook, weeks after Rollin went viral.
여보세요. 네, 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
예.
유정이 엄마입니다.
아이고, 반갑습니다, 어머님.
Her mom considered Brave Girls as pretty much her own daughters, and she would comment how her own daughter, Yoojung, had it rough. She would notice that Yoojung would look at her situation at Brave Girls and see that her friends are getting married, being promoted at work, and having kids, while she, on the other hand, was still trying to make her K-pop career work at 31 years old, in Korean age. Yoojung's mom would also say that she felt bad her daughter never had 100,000 won on her at all times, or the equivalent of $100 USD. In fact, when Brave Brothers found out that the ladies didn't have any pocket money, he gave them money from his own personal bank account for a year, showing just how great of a boss Brave Brothers is and how much the group respects him in turn. While the ladies did have their fair share of fans, as one of their fans said, "Guys, don't give up." Their comeback fell largely on deaf ears, as there was no response. "At least there's one person still supporting us," Yoojung said tearfully, from the low fan response of their comeback. "I still have that comment screenshot and saved. I cried myself to sleep. There were still some Fearless or Brave Girls fans out there, but not enough to support the group." The ladies all had one foot out the door, as they knew that their K-pop career was coming to an end. The girls wanted to move on, to not burden their parents any further by chasing a fading K-pop career and to get jobs outside the K-pop industry and to have a stable income. Since the ladies were either in their 30s or approaching their 30s in Korean age, an age that's considered ancient in the industry, it felt like Brave Girls disbanding would be inevitable. It was only a matter of time when they were ready to call their K-pop career quits and move on. But before the group would disband, the ladies wanted one last try at reviving their K-pop careers, their last shot. The group returned after their 3.5-year hiatus as a 4-member group. On August 14th, 2020, they would release a city pop song called Re-Ride. I must say, I really dug their city pop beats with the old school 80s technology, the font, and the VHS style to it. Yet despite We Ride being a certified banger, in my humble opinion, the song was not enough to save their career. The curtains were closing fast on the proud group, a group that's been around since Girls' Generation and 21 were dominating the K-pop charts. So when 2021 rolled around, it looked like Brave Girls' final year. And for the people that did know about Brave Girls, they thought that disbandment was just around the corner. Until that is, a certain YouTube video was released and it changed Brave Girls' career overnight. On February 24th, a YouTuber named Vidator uploaded a funny compilation of military soldier quotes of Rollin on the millboards. And you might be wondering, what's the millboards? It's a play on the words military and billboard. It's a popular music chart where soldiers rank their favorite songs, then comment on those said songs. The soldiers would have some funny and exaggerated comments, like, if you played Rolling on propaganda speakers, North Koreans would run through the minefield and come to the south. Or, if the Rolling MV was played, the border would have collapsed that same day, LOL. Or, that song made me survive through my military training. I can believe that. Or, my seniors taught me the song when I was a junior, so I'll pass it down to my juniors before I'm discharged from the army. It's said that anyone who served in the military from 2015 on has either heard of the song or danced a Brave Girls song. Brave Girls Rollin became like a rite of passage among Korean military men, and I can see why the song became trendy among the Korean military. The addictive chorus of Rollin' Rollin' Rollin', the energetic dance pop tune, and who can forget using the chair as a prop during their choreography. The song's popularity stayed among the Korean soldiers until it reached YouTube. Many soldiers have known the song for years, saying that they saw the girls' music videos and various performances while serving in the army. The soldiers loved how much fun the ladies were having, and that they weren't faking their happiness while performing. And this authenticity hit hard with the military soldiers. The soldiers praised the girls' hard work, despite not getting the praise and popularity that other female groups received over the years. And these soldiers commented that because of bad timing, Rolling never got its proper due. To these soldiers, Brave Girls were their #1 female group, and because they were the military's #1 group, something magical would soon happen. Vidator's video compilation suddenly exploded in Korea and went viral overnight. Alongside the YouTube algorithm pushing Vidator's video hard, the video quickly made it to the YouTube recommended page, quickly hit several million views, and had people talking, and soon went viral.
네, 인기가 차트 모든 점수를 합산한 이번 주 1위는 과연 이번 주 1위는 누가 될까요? 브레이브걸스 축하드립니다. 디지털 음원 점수, 시청자 선호도 점수, 방송 횟수 점수, 음반 점수. 그렇다면 과연 1위의 주인공은?
The song would hit number 1 on a slew of music shows. Rollin achieved a perfect all-kill on the iChart, which is a collection of all the major music charts in Korea, including Melon, Genie, Flow, Vibe, Bugs, and others. The group has already been smashing new records. On March 22nd, Rollin had 198 perfect all-kills, breaking Twice's record. And what's most impressive about this is that Brave Girls did it with one song, Rollin, while Twice had 4 songs that hit 197 perfect all-kill hours. And this is not taking anything away from Twice, as they're the premier nation's girl group. So having Brave Girls mentioned alongside Twice and breaking their record is huge. Casual K-pop fans and even non-K-pop fans in Korea would hear about the song. In fact, at the time of this video, the only other song to get that perfect all-kill in 2021 thus far, IU's Celebrity. Brave Girls' career would not only be saved by Viditor's video, they're now regarded as one of the hottest female groups in 2021. Brave Girls would get a second chance of reviving their career. Looking back at their major success now, Brave Girls are now ecstatic and thankful that they got a second chance. But their initial reaction to the Rollin hype wasn't happiness or joy. The ladies actually didn't want to get their hopes up, only to be let down. As Yoo said, we were actually calmer. We said to ourselves, don't expect much or we'll be disappointed again, because we thought that this was only going to be a brief trend. With this, Yoo laid out their bleak situation before Rollin went viral. The members already lost a lot of hope. Their self-confidence was shot, as the group thought they would not be successful in anything they do. Fortunately, Rollin was not just a one-week novelty, as the public has been demanding more airtime in the ladies ever since. Brave Girls' career would not only be saved, but it would be trending so fast that they're now regarded as one of the hottest groups in 2021. Now let's delve into the lessons learned from Brave Girls' sudden resurgence and what their career teaches us about going viral in K-pop. And to do that, by first answering a big question. Why were Brave Girls popular among the Korean military? After all, there's plenty of female groups in K-pop to choose from. Brave Girls' raving military fanbase came from a smart decision that Brave Brothers made a few years ago. When Brave Girls were struggling during their 3.5-year hiatus, you can imagine how sad and depressed they were. And heck, who can blame them, as they worked so hard, yet saw very little results or success. Yet Brave Brothers always believed in them. He knew that the K-pop world was very cruel and competitive. He knew what separated a group being dubbed a major success and an unknown failure is razor thin. He often asked himself, why aren't the girls more popular? I don't get it. He felt that it wasn't a lack of talent, nor a lack of bangers, that were holding back Brave Girls. But he needed to get the girls to see that and to believe in themselves once again. The girls' self-esteem was at an all-time low, and this first needed to be fixed right away. To do this, he needed to rebuild the girls' confidence and get them performing again. He would send the girls to perform for the Korean military. Korean guys are all about the female groups. But at first, Brave Girls weren't actually well received by the military. Brave Girls were called when they were struggling to get the soldiers' approval on the popular JTB show Knowing Brothers. Yet after some time, once Rollin was released, the military members slowly warmed up to the song and to the girls. And thus, the military memes of Rollin's greatness was born, and the group became legendary within the military. Soldiers would lose their minds whenever Brave Girls would perform on a military visit. They would soon become one of the most requested female groups. Brave Girls would soon regain their confidence, were happy to perform in front of the soldiers, and found an audience that cheered their every move. Even though Brave Entertainment would barely make any money performing in front of the soldiers, to Brave Brothers, it was well worth it to make Brave Girls happy again and to regain their footing. So you're watching Brave Girls' sudden rise to K-pop fame, and you're thinking, wait a minute, haven't I heard the story in K-pop before? And you have. And EXID. The similarities between EXID and Brave Girls are quite startling. How they were both struggling and how they almost disbanded. If there's any group that can relate to Brave Girls, it has to be EXID. Their career was saved by FanCam back in 2014. By looking at the sultry dancing, it's easy to see right away why the Hani fan cam was so popular. The fan cam is considered legendary in the K-pop fandom as it saved EXID and becoming relevant in the K-pop industry. Hani was so thankful for the viral hand cam that she thanked the uploader for basically saving their career. Much like Brave Girl's own struggles, EXID was very close to disbanding themselves. Hani said that if EXID was not successful in 3 years, she would follow her mom's advice and study overseas. Fortunately, during that 3-year mark, Up and Down went viral, and Hani never did have to go with her plan B and study overseas. Brave Girls is one of the best stories in 2021. I'm so happy to see, after so many years of hard work, they're finally getting their due fame. It's just well deserved. But one thing that I've noticed about Brave Girls' sudden rise, how many other K-pop fandoms are supporting them. And it really made me wonder why so many of these fandoms are supporting Brave Girls when they're not part of the big three nor HYBE. And the answer is Brave Girls' incredible underdog story that could have been written for a Hollywood movie or a K-drama. People like seeing a group rise out of nowhere from a small label to become one of the most popular acts. It gives hope to people that working hard and having catchy songs can make a group become successful. Fans can relate to Brave Girls and how hard they toiled in the K-pop industry for 10 years before hitting it big. If their underdog story wasn't inspiring enough, it was reported on February 23rd, a day before Viditor's video went viral. Brave Brothers heard of the ladies' intentions to disband later in 2021. He wanted to meet up with them to discuss whether the group can be saved. Of course, after Rollin went viral, the group was just more than saved. They were among K-pop's leading ladies in 2021. Brave Girl's story gives hope to other artists in the industry that they don't have to be part of a huge label to be successful in the K-pop industry. While K-pop fans will fanboy and fangirl about the latest SM, YG, JYP, and HYBE artists, deep down, fans like it when they hear an underdog story like Brave Girls. They like it when artists are rewarded for that hard work. Yet, if you've been a K-pop fan for a while, you know that the K-pop industry doesn't reward idols on just hard work. Most often, K-pop idols are successful for being in the right labels with the right marketing and promotion behind them. And they also have to somehow grab attention from all the established groups and rookie groups within the K-pop industry. As a group gets older, without grabbing a decent chunk of attention, they become less relevant, where only a fraction of K-pop groups ever hit true stardom and become millionaires. So for a group such as Brave Girls to beat those odds makes for a compelling story. Fandoms from other groups have also rallied to support Brave Girls, a rarity in K-pop. Instead of seeing Brave Girls as yet another potential rival to their bias, they're fully behind the group's meteoric rise. The unexpected popularity of Rollin made Brave Girls one of the best feel-good stories of not just 2021, but in K-pop history. So what does Rollin teach us about going viral in K-pop? It teaches us that marketing doesn't depend on the big labels anymore. So the standard for marketing K-pop groups is that it goes through a label. So when a new rookie group is about to debut, the label does some teaser images, trailers, and puts up some social media posts hyping them up. And then you got the group's fan base promoting the heck out of a given group. But now, virality in K-pop is going towards a different direction. Instead of depending on your label to promote you or your fan base, which you might not have much of if you're a small unknown group, the way that groups are being promoted in Korea are from YouTube creators, neighbor cafes, popular forums, influencers, and fandoms. And many K-pop groups are starting to notice this trend as well, where they can't depend on their music label to gift them millions of views on debut, so they have to get their attention from other places. I think we'll be seeing this trend a lot more. So Brave Girls is now back on the K-pop map, and they are not taking anything for granted. They're striking while the iron's hot, and I agree with this 100%. The ladies' careers are definitely rolling. They're on a slew of advertisements, including the video game Kingdom's Ember of War, Seoul Fashion Week, Turtle Chips, and being advertised on barbecue chicken.
맛있으니까.
And anyone that's been to Korea knows that chicken advertisements are huge in the country. It's a badge of honor to be featured with chicken, as chicken and beer, also known as chimek, are eaten a lot in the country. They've been on a slew of variety shows, including Knowing Brothers, Running Man, I Live Alone, Weekly Idol, Yuhiyo's Sketchbook, and The Manager, just to name a few. Being invited on TV shows is an honor for celebrities in Korea, as these programs are seen by the vast majority of Koreans and non-K-pop fans. So the Korean public gets exposed to the latest craze in K-pop groups. Brave Girls is also going hard on capitalizing on their newfound fame. They've been reported to have a new song in the summer, with Brave Brothers aiming to make Brave Girls the summer queens of 2021. Brave Brothers also told us girls that this is just the beginning. Now we're gonna repay the public's love, so we need to do our best. Yoo-jung herself is also getting more popular, as many Koreans think that her face looks like the Pokemon character Squirtle. In the silliest surveys that I've heard yet, there was a survey of which Korean celebrity looks most like Squirtle, and they voted Yoo-jung at first place with 43%. Brave Girls also received Chanel bags from Brave Brothers, a promise from the group's founder, for their huge career revival and never giving up. With their newfound money, the ladies are looking forward to paying off debt, saving money, and perhaps getting their parents some gifts for supporting them for so long. The girls, for now, are still living a humble life. On an episode of The Manager back in April, the girls showed off their dorm life, where the girls would all share one bathroom to brush their teeth, wash their hair, and clean up all at the same time, as well as live in a very small space. The girls originally had a much bigger dormitory, but felt bad that they stayed at such a large home, since the group was struggling financially. But with their newfound fame, the ladies may upgrade their home soon. Brave Girls' inspiring underdog story and incredible appeal are making more people become fearless. With public opinion of the group at an all-time high and many fandoms rallying to support the girls, we'll see how Brave Girls and their producer, Brave Brothers, does in 2021 and beyond. From the looks of it, they're not taking anything for granted. Will we see more revival stories like Brave Girls and EXID? Well, it's hard to say. As happy as I am for EXID and now Brave Girls, a lot of things went their way to go viral. They had the right people that created viral videos, and once those videos were released, enough people had to not only like that group's video, but also share it to their friends, who share it to other friends, which ultimately leads to a sharing chain and makes the video go viral. It was really the perfect storm of everything working out for both groups, with some luck involved, because it's extremely rare for an older song to suddenly catch on and revive an older group's career in one swoop. With that being said, I do hope that we see more comebacks from little-known groups in the future. The truth is, K-pop groups are hardworking, but very few of them get to see moderate levels of success, let alone huge success like a BTS, a Twice, or a Blackpink. I do think that K-pop fans are starting to become more interested in revival K-pop shows such as the Unit and the Produce series, which features lesser-known idols that are looking to reboot their career and come back. I think if there are more comeback stories like Brave Girls and EXID, we'll see more artists hopefully staying around longer, hoping to get their own comeback story. Because there are a lot of idols that do want to turn around their career and not be forgotten after their debut year. With Rollin become one of the most watched songs, reviving a group's career, and creating one of the best feel-good stories in K-pop, many fans are requesting the song should be SOTY, or Song of the Year in 2021. I can understand the calls for SOTY for Rollin, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm thinking that the song won't be eligible for nomination, because unless the rules change at the end of the year award shows, which states that a song has to be released this year, Rollin won't be eligible since it was released back in 2017. Whether or not the song gets a special exception remains to be seen, since the song is such a special and rare case in K-pop. The song made such a huge impact on K-pop in just a few weeks in 2021. But one thing can't be denied. The song captured the hearts of many and made them fearless. So thank you everybody for watching this video, and I'd love to know your take in the comments below. Two other things to mention. If you want real talk with no fluff on how the K-pop industry actually works, then please grab my free ebook by signing up for the email list below. And if you like what we do here at Popsori, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. It's not necessary, of course, and we're honored if you just watch our videos. But for those that do support us on Patreon, we have some cool perks waiting. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, everyone.